Hi guys, welcome back to the Q3FY25 result update. In today's video, we'll be covering two companies. Both are in the logistics space. Okay, so the two companies are Tiger Logistics and SJ Logistics. Now, for both of these companies, I've explained the business model in depth. Like I believe for each of the company, Tiger Logistics and SJ Logistics, for each I've done a 30 to 40-minute video, right, explaining everything in detail. Like what are the who are the middlemen over here? How is one company different from other? Right, everything I've done over there. So if you want to understand in detail, I would ask you, you go to my YouTube channel, business analysis playlist, you'll find it over there, or you'll find it in the Q2FY25 playlist also, okay? Because I believe in the last quarter itself, I did this, in-depth analysis for the logistics space. So you'll find it over there. So since it's a result update, I will not be going in depth with the business model. I'm going to explain it to you in a short and sweet manner. And then we will go ahead with the Q3FY25 numbers, okay? So first, let us talk about Tiger Logistics, right? Now, Tiger Logistics and SJ Logistics, if you look at it, both of them are, when you look at them from a logistics company perspective, we have to ask, what kind of logistic company they are, right? Like, are they only the kind of company that does road transportation, ship car transportation, yeah, air freight car transportation, or they do everything, like a multimodal transportation. Now, when you look at Tiger Logistics and SJ Logistics, both are multimodal transportation company, okay? So this is the basic level of the business model. I can tell you can understand it over here. Now let's first talk about Tiger Logistics, right? Like over the years, if you see, especially the last year, Tiger Logistics had a lot of problems, okay, with respect to execution, and obviously now there was this war and everything, so it wasn't a great year for them, okay. But this year, since the start of this year, the performance has been really great, really exceptional, okay. And if you looked at their H1 ka performance, the H1 ka revenue stood at around 261 crore. Now for all these logistic companies, H2 is better than H1, right? Because Q3 and Q4, they see more number of volumes. Now if they are doing 261 crore in H1, right? So in like H2, which is their much better half year, right? They should be able to do more than 261 crore, right? So the guidance was indirectly, it was given probably around 500 to 600 crores, you could expect somewhere in the top line, okay? And if you look at it as of Q3, right, the company's result has been beautiful. I mean, they are in line to achieve that indirect guidance given around 500 to 600 crore. If you look at the sales grew by 3.1x, not 3.1 percentage, 3.1x, so almost 300% ka growth hua hai in terms of sales growth. And if you look at it in terms of PAT grew by 2.3x, that is almost 230% ka growth tha over here, okay? Now the most important thing over here is volumes. If you look at it, volumes also grew by 28%, 27.8 round of करके 28% से volumes also grew. One more reason for the volumes to grow over here was like one, obviously it's a seasonally best quarter for them, Q3 and Q4. But other than that also, if you look at their air freight ka volumes, if you look at their ship ka volumes, now everything was going well for them, ठीक है? Even their margins also, last Q3 the margins was 5.5. As of this Q3 the margins is 6.1%. And here you can see, right, as the volumes get better and better here, the margins also stands to improve due to economies of scale, okay? Now over here, when you look at Tiger Logistics, there were two important things that was going on for them, right? One was Freight 2.0, Freight Jar 2.0, उनका एक नया application था, right, where they wanted to get customer onboarded, they wanted to ship their customers over here, okay? That one has been going on really well for them. The other thing was they were looking at an acquisition. They were eyeing an acquisition, for a very long period of time, okay? And right now they have also done that, they have launched, I don't, this is not an acquisition as suppose, but they have also, like, they were always thinking about hiring a company or looking for an acquisition sort of thing. And right now if you look at it, these people have started a new company, like एक नया subsidiary का एक company खोला है जिसका नाम है Qbox, Cubox, Qbox, okay? Now what does this Qbox does, right? Last time also they mentioned कि like they're looking to looking for a company जो ये container का load जो है. So whenever you want to load, when in ships, if you see, right, there are two kind of container, ठीक है? Less than load container and full load container, ठीक है? Full load के मतलब क्या? You will see that big ना, I do not know how to explain this, but have you guys seen that Pushpa 2 का movie where he comes out of that big container, right? That one container, right? So if let's say a company का only only one company's mal, only one company ka goods goes in that one full container, right? Then we call it as full load container. Okay, so it is reserved for one company alone. Now it happens so many times कि like आपका शायद सिर्फ 20 units of clothes you have to send from India to Africa, ठीक है? So that is there, right? The second thing is, if you look at it, maybe you do not need that entire space for one company alone. Maybe you would want to merge like 5 companies in one container, ठीक है? So this is what we call as less than a load container, ठीक है? So they have they have launched this Qbox बोल के, which is a less than a load consolidation, ये जो service provide करते हैं, this company they have launched. And they told ना last time also they were mentioning कि like ये fridge jar 2.0, then that green logistics, and they were looking for an acquisition. All of these three that are there, will inch them up towards getting more volume growth, as a result, providing them the long term guidance that is there. By FY27, we want to achieve 2000 crore in terms of revenue, right? Which was there for a very long, the long term guidance that they will be able to achieve, right? And I think if you look at it right now, that if you look at it from the company, in the sense like the direction where it is heading, it looks like they're heading in the right direction itself, and there seems to be no headwinds, at least as of now. Okay, so overall a great set of numbers. I would say the only disappointing thing for me is I do not know why the management has not done a con call. They always do a con call every quarter, but somehow in this quarter they haven't done a con call. So that is the only thing. But other than that, if you see great set of numbers, everything, the business is going in the right direction. The second company we'll be talking about is SJ Logistics. Okay, now SJ Logistics also, if you look at them, right, one of the thing is they had a very clear cut guidance for the next 3 years. Like this year, that is in FY25, they want to achieve 500 crore. In FY26 it would be 750 crore, and in FY27 it is 1000 crore, right? They have a clear cut guidelines given, how much to do, what to do, and everything. And if you look at this Q3 ka numbers, in fact, from the starting of the year, even this company has been walking the talk, right? Like no matter what has happened, right, whether we've seen there are so many problems with this logistic company, right? Either they don't get the container, freight cost is more, they're not able to pass on the cost, hundreds of things will happen. Maybe there is some passage that has been blocked, because of which delivery time is more, all of this happens. But no matter what problems happened over here in the logistics space, there is this one company, that is SG Logistic, right? Every single time they've done exceptional performance, and this quarter is again not is no different from the previous quarter, right? Very great set of numbers. Inka bhi, if you look at it, sales grew by 71% and PAT grew by 130%. Like I told you, pura saal ka guidance is 500 crore and 50 crore in PAT. If you look at it right now, as of 9 months, they have done 360 crore in sales and 37.6 crore in PAT. Okay, now obviously Q4 is better than Q3, right? In H2, if you look at it alone. So doing another 140 150 crore, I think it would be easily possible, considering Q4 is better than Q3 also. So that is the thing. A very impressive thing, another one, is the EBITDA margin. You see, first of all, if you look at SJ Logistics, if you look at it, they enjoy a better margin compared to anybody else in terms of in the logistics space, whether it is Tiger, whether it is AVG Logistics, Premier Road Lines, right? SJ Logistics comes at the top over here, right? Class margins, right? Literally top of the class when it comes to margin. Why is that the case? We discussed in that SJ Logistics का एक video जो मैंने बनाया था Q2 FY25, where I was explaining the पूरा का पूरा business model, right? I've explained over there why why उनका margins are way higher compared to anybody or anybody else. This quarter also you're seeing the same thing. Margins that are there, margins has inched up even higher. उनका EBITDA margins जो है is touching now 15%. Last time in the same quarter it was around 10.9%. Now it is 14.9. So overall, great set of numbers. Nothing to complain with SJ Logistics. They're walking the talk. Whatever the guidance had been given, they're achieving it. Brilliant and beautiful, right? The only thing obviously right now, I am pretty sure now one question or one comment will be there, to stock price क्यों गिर रहा है? Like I would say, if you are running behind the stock price over here, you're not my audience, right? I would say learn the business, read about the business, and then you would understand कि business पे पहले ध्यान दो. Look at where the direction of the business is going. Stock price well is ultimately a slave to business performance only, right? So that is the thing. So overall good, overall great. Hopefully we see that Q4 also in the entire logistics space, it continues in the same way only. If you remember, right, in the last time when we did the logistics ka race, we saw that number one was Tiger Logistics, followed by SJ, followed by third position was Premier Road Lines, and the last one, the fourth company, was AVG Logistics, right, when we segregated it, right. And if you look at it right now also, I believe the segment or the race ka, different players, it is in the same category only. I would say right now Tiger and SJ are in the first place. Second place goes to the AVG and the other companies. यहाँ पे Premier Road Line से company है, but again it is a small cap company, so they don't give result every quarter. It is half yearly, so we will discuss about it in Q4. Only company left over here other than Tiger and SJ Logistics is Blackbuck, which is Inca Logistics, and the other one is AVG Logistics. I'll cover that also in another video, but for this video only Tiger and SJ, and both have done a very brilliant set of numbers, great performance. In fact, if I talk about SJ Logistics na, iska jo 1 year forward PE hai, for this market fall, after this market fall, it has become even cheaper, because I believe the market cap right now is around 755 crore. अगर ये 50 crore का पैट करता है इस साल, right, then the 1 year forward P is coming up to 15, ठीक है. And if you look at it from like a 2 year, like FY26 का expected P, like the forward P if you take for FY26, right, and the target is 750 crore in terms of revenue, and if I assume कि like ये लोग 10% का पैट मारेगा, पैट मार्जिन मारेगा, that's around 75 crores in PAT, then that comes up to around like around kitna, like 10 P I believe it comes up to. So the 1 year forward P, or like FI 2 year forward P भी अगर आप बोल सकते, it's not 2 years because we only have 3 months over here. FY26 का if you take, then the PE comes up to between 10 to 15 P. Like it's trading at a way lower valuation compared to its peers, right? The only thing with Tiger Logistics I would say is like we understand ki like this year they will probably achieve 600 crore in top line, right, somewhere between 500 to 600 crore, but then there is a little bit uneasy ki like what about it later, like what about the next year and so on. FY27 is great, 2000 crore, but what about in between? What if the pace of growth comes down going forward for the business? That is a little bit of the concern with Tiger Logistics, I would say. Other than that, great company, kuch to problem nahi. Only thing over here with any logistic company is you have to be very careful with one thing, that whatever the order they have, order is getting executed. And second thing is the entire logistics space is dependent on the economic conditions doing well. If we have a lot of economic activity going on, imports and exports are great, they will perform well. They're very very subjected to the to how a country is doing, right? Extreme subjected, and also they're more dependent on demand conditions than anybody else. कि like एक यहाँ पे कुछ war होता है या कुछ one passage is blocked, then they will tend to suffer. So this is that one sector I would say which is extremely complicated, and it is so dependent on more in the the उसका जो environment है, it is dependent more on that than the business operation itself. That is why I believe all of these companies trade at a relatively lower valuation compared to the other sectors that are there, ठीक है. So that's that about this entire logistics space, right? And right, I've explained again once again all of these companies, Tiger, SJ Logistics, Premier Road Lines, and Blackbuck Logistics, Blackbuck, Zinca Logistics, that is there. Every single of these companies I've explained in detail, PPT उठा के screen share करके, each and every video is 40 minutes. We've done P2P also as we covered everything. So refer to the Q2FY25 ka playlist or business analysis playlist, you'll find it over there, okay? So that's that. And also guys, if you want to understand the entire how this how we do the analysis, how this entire checklist of mine is, you people keep asking ke like aapka investment checklist share karo, which we have already done, right? The registration link for that workshop is also below in the description box. Have a look at it, okay? So that's it with these two companies. I hope you all had a great time learning about it, and we'll see you again. Bye.